the one hand, you have community, quality of life. This is kind of the people side, again, of the economy. And on the other side, you have commerce, right? Sustainability, kind of the monetary side. And there's a sweet spot right in the middle that I'm going to define as the social change marketplace. Again, this is where there is remuneration happening, and where artists and can truly step in. This is where we work. This is where Music to Life works, is in helping artists identify this place where you can actually make change while making a living, which is come through loud and clear. I want to define a little bit the kind of what exists in this marketplace. You know this, right? Churches, hospitals, schools. I mean, these are, they're sometimes called nonprofits. They're also called tax-exempt organizations. That is an IRS designation only, okay? These churches, social service organizations, schools, museums, co-ops, you name it, they're businesses. And in order to run themselves successfully, they need to be innovative, they need to be resourceful, they need to be responsive to customer needs, they need artists. And they spend $2 trillion a year investing in economic development, in the arts, in education, spirituality, health, you name it. They're investing. And according to Johns Hopkins, just found this out, they're creating jobs at 3 times the rate of the traditional business sector. So there's some real opportunity here. So what I want to talk a little bit about is how we can cultivate this marketplace, right? Sort of as creatives and also on behalf of creatives. Nadi Linares, I think that's how she pronounces her name, from New Economy, the New Economy Coalition, says, when artists and creators are in control of the resources they need to create, we can all do the hard and rewarding work of building a truly revolutionary, and I will add sustainable, culture. So I want to add, again, from where we sit at Music to Life, enabling musicians to make a living while making change also ensures diverse artistic representation in our communities and allows for equitable and innovative music-driven solutions that truly start to shift, right, the cultural and humanitarian landscape. So I'm going to offer an example. Daniel Pak, he is a Seattle-based singer, songwriter, producer, activist. He's spent 12 years growing Totem Star, which is a music-driven youth empowerment organization. And right now, so you probably know this, Elizabeth, he's working to turn this, one of his latest projects is to turn the historic but abandoned King Street Station into an arts-driven youth center. And because this project is activating a lot of different sectors, right? And again, this is important to keep in mind too, you're not alone. You go into this work, you're not alone in this work. And I think mapping, we have an exercise we do where we have artists kind of map, it's called a stakeholder map, which sounds kind of fancy, but it's just sort of here's where I sit in my community, and given the issue that I really care about, here are all of the intersecting circles, right? And all of the different parts of the community that sort of come together around that. So for Daniel, on the community side, right, he sees the need for this kind of safe, creative gathering, this activity space for sort of kids in the city. So he's mobilizing his people connections within the music and youth community. And there are many more categories I could put up here, but this is, what he's doing here. On the commercial side, he recognizes the interest from both public and commercial sectors, right, in reclaiming historic and urban spaces for public good. So he's beginning to bring those entities to the table also. So here we go on the cultural change side. He's still working on it, but the result is going to be converting a historically significant building in a neglected neighborhood into a thriving arts and culture center for youth in the surrounding community. So, and then given the youth that he's going to be impacting and the awards he's already received, including the Lewis Prize, which is amazing, he's now reshaping how city councilors, businesses, the public look at youth development, right? And he's also he's raising Seattle's profile around the country in how even real estate deals, right, can bring in income, but can also be good for enriching the community, addressing the needs of youth, etc. So Daniel happens to be one of Music to Life's mentoring artists. And because I think it's important to mention it, because I don't know if some of you are sitting out there going, oh my gosh, wait, I was not trained for this. Like, exciting, but this looks a little overwhelming. And the thing is that the reason we bring people in like Daniel is to offer a model. Change can look like however you want it to look like, but there is a model and there's kind of a formula for putting together how your change is going to make impact and how it's going to deliver back to you, right? How you're going to make a living while making change.